Where does LeBron James rank? Wow. Well, first of all, it's easily top 10. Easily. But when you talk about, in terms of talent, skill, what he brings to the table, you can make a legitimate argument that overall talent, he's number 2 all time.
Wow.
You can literally make a legit. Now, obviously, when you talk about positions, that's a different debate as to who would be your top 5 players, and you go by position, et cetera, et cetera. But when you look at, again, and there's 2 different categories. There's a talent category and there's a title category. Now, when it comes to titles, he doesn't come before Magic, doesn't come before Jordan, doesn't come before Bird, doesn't come before Kareem, doesn't come before Tim Duncan, okay? He doesn't come before those dudes. But if I'm doing my top 5, then, and I'm not taking into account titles, just talent, LeBron James is the greatest small forward that has ever played the game of basketball. There is nobody better than LeBron James. He's top 5, right? But obviously, when you talk about Clutch Gene, I would put Larry Bird ahead of him because when it's time to close, I'm giving the ball to Bird all day, every day over LeBron James because of Bird's ability to shoot, and particularly in the clutch. But when we talk about talent, the ability to play on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively, you can handle, you can shoot, you can pass, you can drive to the basket, you can defend multiple positions. I mean, outside of Michael Jordan, who else is there to pick? I mean, when you think about LeBron at 6'8", 6'9", 250, and what he can do, he can legitimately play 5 different positions. And even though Magic, understand the greatness of Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was a guy that was tall enough, could play the point guard. He was the orchestrator, the architect of Showtime. He was an elite passer. He can look over defenders, etc., etc. But the totality of his skills, Magic didn't have what LeBron has. He didn't have that. So when I think about skill set, talent-wise, I mean, again, I'm too young. I've only seen black and white tape of Elgin Baylor, Oscar Robertson, you know, people like that. So I defer to the elder statesmen of the game to tell me about what those dudes brought to the table. But I would imagine that LeBron is a brethren of those dudes, and that he just took what they originally pioneered and designed and took it to another level, the way Connie Hawkins and David Thompson and guys like that took Dr. J, and Dr. J preempted MJ, and MJ preempted Kobe. But I guess what I'm saying is I just look at it, and I think overall talent, other than Jordan, I can't think of anybody. And I mean, talent-wise, you know, again, I put Jordan the edge because he got the titles, plus he could play on both ends, offensively and defensively. Outside of that, it's LeBron to me.
So you're differentiating your argument between talent versus resume, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Talent versus titles, yes.
Okay, I got it. If we're just doing in a vacuum, just pure gifted talent, just inch for inch talent, I got to tell you, seriously, this will sound blasphemous. I would take LeBron James over Michael Jordan in that area.
Wow.
Well, now, just on gift. Now, I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan on the planet. I'm not going to take him as a basketball player, but on just raw talent, 6'9", 260. The one big thing that I liked what Michael did, Michael taught himself to shoot the ball a little better than LeBron has been able to teach himself to shoot the ball.
Which is exactly why I didn't put LeBron over MJ. And the reason why I don't have Kobe over LeBron is because to me it's Kobe MJ. You see what I'm saying?
I'm
it's
with
Kobe
you.
MJ.
Kobe's close in this argument, though.
I know that.
On just raw, gift.
No question.
Okay.
No
and
question.
you know who else is in that? If we're just doing in a vacuum, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 7. What do we call him? 2'7",
I put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar over Bill Russell.
Okay, on pure talent or on resume? Because you can't do rings, obviously, because Bill Russell had 11.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's just do straight barbershop argument. Who you taking? If I'm going to rank who I'm going to take all time, I'm a little older than maybe they stuck in my psyche a little stronger. But I have LeBron, and you'll probably hoot and holler over this. I've got him ranked 9th on my list. I got him in the top 10. But listen to me. I got Michael Jordan at the top because of performance, of greatness, of resume, of not just rings, because obviously he had 6, but just pure clutch gene, game closing. I want him on my team greatness. Well, that's Michael Jordan for me.
And I've got Kobe over LeBron on resume.
Okay, I do too. I got Kobe 2 notches above. So mine goes in order. I got Bill Russell number 2, and I know it was a different era, but when you win 11 championships, I got to put you up there. I'm sorry, I know you're only 6'9". I mean, LeBron's maybe a little bigger and stronger than Bill Russell was, but 11, I got you up there.
Right.
My man Magic Johnson is 3rd on my list, just because I want him in my foxhole, man. I want him running. If I want somebody with the ball in his hands in tough situations, Magic's my guy. 5 championships. I got Shaquille O'Neal at number 4.
Wow.
Listen, for 3 years, I have never seen a more powerful offensive force than Shaquille O'Neal. He was literally unstoppable. Now, it wasn't pretty to watch. It got a little ugly sometimes. He just ran over little dudes who tried to guard him, but he was still unstoppable for about that. Remember that 2000 to 2002 stretch in there?
So to me, it was longer than that, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, but that's when he would just ragdoll my Spurs. Duncan and David Robinson, he just tossed them around like they were little kids. And again, I'm putting him 1 notch above Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has 6 rings, but that's a close one. If I had to draft somebody for my all-time team, I would have taken Shaq a little bit over Kareem, just on overall toughness and physicality and dominance. Kareem was a little more finesse to me, but he was some finesse. I mean, that skyhook was literally unstoppable. Now I've gone 5 deep. I'm putting Tim Duncan at number 6 just because he doesn't get the credit he deserves with 5 rings, because there's nothing spectacular about him. He is not box office. He is not marquee. There's no personality to him. But do I want him to build around my basketball team? Yes, I do. I'm going to take him my all-time draft at number 6, because all he's going to do is win you a whole bunch of championships. I'm sorry. Number 7 is Kobe. 8, and I've dropped him down my list because he only has 3. I got Larry Bird 1 notch ahead of LeBron, just on clutch gene, what you just spoke of. And I got LeBron 9th. Now, LeBron is in danger of falling to 2 and 4 in the NBA Finals. Maybe he'll pull it off. And if he does, this would be his greatest, obviously, his greatest achievement ever. He would get high marks from everybody, including me, if he pulls this one off without Kyrie and Kevin Love. And if he does, he might start climbing up this list a little bit. But right now, I think it's fair. And we have seen this man now for 12 years. LeBron James has played 12 full seasons. So I've seen enough that for me to put him at 9th in my top 10 is still, on my list, by my standards, that's pretty high. He's risen pretty high on my list.
Well, let me say this to you. I have no problem with your top 9. None whatsoever. I would put Kareem above Russell, because even though there's 11 titles, I'm thinking about who you played with.
Yep.
Who you played with, the level of parity or absence thereof that existed in the NBA at that particular time.
I mean, Kareem did get to play with Magic and Worthy.
I'm also combining that with the fact that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to this very day, before him, since while he was playing and after, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has the one and only unstoppable move in the history of the game, the skyhook. Yeah. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, it doesn't matter. The turnaround, baseline, whatever you want to pick. There is only one unstoppable move in the history of basketball, and it is owned by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You knew he was going to shoot the skyhook all the time, and there was absolutely positively nothing that you could do about it. Period. So to me, when you combine that with the fact that it has 6 rings attached to it, some of them when Bird was playing, when Isaiah was playing, when Dr. J was playing, even when Jordan ultimately came along, Isaiah and the Bad Boy Pistons were in existence. No matter, you still had the one, as he aged and the fast break, Showtime would run up the court, and then on the occasion that they were stopped, they'd simply wait about 10 seconds for Kareem to come lollygagging down the court, and then they throw it to him on the right block, and one fake hair, skyhook, money. I mean, it didn't matter whether he was 20 years old or 40. It still withstood the test of time. That is why I put him up there. When I think about Kobe, let me tell you why I would put Kobe against Tim Duncan, above Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is a champion, and he's great. And he's the greatest power forward ever. Number 2 would be Kevin McHale, by the way, not Karl Malone. Okay? But here's the flip side. For his entire career, Tim Duncan had Greg Popovich. He had David Robinson initially, and then after that he had Manu Ginobili, and he had Tony Parker, and all of this other stuff. For his entire career, Kobe Bryant had Shaq the first go-round. The second go-round, it was him and Pau Gasol and an injured Andrew Bynum, okay? But there's still 5 rings. And so when I look at Kobe, and 7 trips to the finals, 7, all right? So when I look at it from that perspective, I say to myself, well, you know what? I can't deny that. So because the road traveled was tougher over the course of his career, Tim Duncan arrived in San Antonio. The day he walked onto the NBA court, he had David Robinson waiting to play with him. The day he arrived, he had David Robinson playing with him.
Briefly, yeah.
No, what I mean by it is this: no friction, no animosity, no turmoil, no soap opera atmosphere. The star departed. Ultimately, you've got to rebuild. You're the pariah. You're the guy seen as pushing Shaq out of town, and you all had the Eagle County, Colorado thing going on. One piece of adversity after another for Kobe Bryant. Literally close to 0 for Tim Duncan throughout his career. So I give points for that, for overcoming those odds stacked against you. That's all I mean.
For his entire career, Greg Popovich had Tim Duncan.
That's how
I look at it the other way around. I'm sorry. Tim Duncan has been special. He had a special year this year. At 39, he was really good.
But to me, this year makes my point. Because the point is this. If other dudes had come to play with Tim Duncan, they very well may be in the finals right now. We understand that. And nobody is questioning in any way the greatness of Tim Duncan. I'm just saying there's a lot to be said for being in a stable environment. LeBron left Cleveland because of the instability that existed here. Kobe almost left L.A. because of it. Michael Jordan retired because of it. So when you look at it from the standpoint that no matter where you turn, instability somehow, some way raises its ugly head.
Friction or no, Kobe benefited from Shaquille O'Neal. I don't care what you say.
The first 3, I'm saying, the first 3 rings, the most dominant force in the game, no question. But I'm saying to you, he validated himself, because what you got to remember, Kobe wanted Shaquille, he wanted to separate from Shaquille O'Neal for exactly the statement you just made. He knew that for the rest of his career, he would be attached at the hip of Shaquille O'Neal, and his individual greatness would be questioned if he stuck with Shaquille. He wanted to venture out on his own to validate his greatness. Do you know what it says for somebody to sit there and have that as their quest, and then to turn around and pull it off?
He did it.
He did it.
Yep.
He did it. We now talk about Kobe separate and apart from Shaq, not just with Shaq. He deserves credit for that.
All right, can you guys help me out? What do you guys call Deli? What do you call him? Deli Tray. All right, when we come back, we're talking about Deli Tray. Tim Legler had some interesting comments on Deli Tray. Back in a moment.
First Take is presented by Chase, celebrating small business. Learn more at missionmainstreetgrants.com. And in part by M&M's. Movies are better with M.
Wait a second. There is some confusion. There's Golden State. There's Golden State and Cavs fans. You guys are bold right here. I get you guys. You really do. Keep it friendly. Keep it friendly. We understand.
These guys need to be careful.
They just need to be careful. Cautious.
Be kind to them.
Proceed cautiously.
Yeah.
As I was saying, you know, we love when people watch the show and send us some tweets. You guys know about Little B, right? You know the curse that Little B put on Kevin Durant and James Harden, which you think is kind of funny. He also said, though, he said specifically that LeBron James, there was no curse. So he's all straight, right? Everybody's good with LeBron. He just tweeted the show. He just wanted us to know that he really liked the Iman Shumpert video, and he wanted to see what you thought about it. What do you think?
I just hope Little B doesn't put a curse on Deli.
Uh-oh.
Right?
What if he did?
Yeah.
He's not cooking yet?
No.
No, not going to happen? Okay. All right, so let's talk about Game 3. Stephen A's like, I'm not a part of this. Who wins the game tonight, my friend?
I'm picking Cleveland. I'm picking Cleveland.
Oh, stop it.
really believe that Game 3 is pivotal in this series. I think that, LeBron imploring the crowd in Cleveland to show up, to be raucous and noisy. I think that there's a need for that. He knows that his troops are going to need all the support that they can get because Golden State's going to be ready tonight. And I think that Cleveland's going to have to find a way to win. Keep in mind, Golden State is still the best team in this series. Cleveland just has the best player in the world. They will find a way to escape with tonight's game. And Iman Shumpert's got to show up offensively, too.
Okay. I believe, in fact, I know that Golden State's going to win one of these two games in Cleveland, and I believe it will be tonight because I believe Steffi owes his team a game, and I think he will give his team back a game tonight. I got 100-98 visiting team tonight.
Let me tell you what we owe you guys here in Cleveland. Another show. We'll be here at 3:30 this afternoon. Please join us, will you? We're going to be on ESPN. Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. I'm Carrie Champion. Thank you for watching. Again, 3:30 Eastern over on ESPN. We'll give you another show